Hello, everybody. We are live. I am not sure if anyone is here yet, but if you are, please just pop a little howdy in the comments. Oh, I see we've got 13 early birds. That is really impressive. Please, will you let us know who you are, where you're from, and maybe even what you're hoping to get out of this session? I know we also have a couple of people who are going to be joining us on the replay. So welcome to you too. And you're welcome to skip forward for a minute or two because we're going to wait until a couple more people join before we get started. But thank you for joining, and sorry that you're not able to join us live, but I hope you can still get max value from today. Oh, Lemonade Collective, howdy. And this, I know, is my friend Kirst from Lemonade Collective, and she's actually going to be helping me out in the comments section today because multitasking is not something that we want to be doing. So Kirst is going to keep an eye on those comments for me and let me know anything that we need to address. And please, throughout the session, it is going to be super interactive, and I really want you to be able to feel like this is your session. You need to get the most out of it. So feel free to pop in a question in the comments at any time, and then I'll take some pauses as we go through your questions. Oh, Kirst, you made it. Yay, good news. Hey, Natalie, lovely to have you. Please, everyone who's here, just pop your name, where you're from, say a howdy to all of us here. This is a session that's not about me just talking at you. We really want to engage and get the most out of it and maybe make some new connections too. So please feel free to pop into that comment section. Yay, Lauren's here, looking to make more money doing what I love. Love it. JJ, howdy to you. Lindsay, wonderful to have you. Thank you so much for joining. And I'm so glad you made it. And it's wonderful to also to see so many names that I recognize, friends and people who I've connected with. Thank you so much for coming. Pascal, lovely to have you. Right, just a quick recap. I don't want to start late because we want to use our time efficiently. So if you haven't managed to make it right on time, you can catch a bit in the replay. Jonathan, lovely to have you. Travis, yay, so glad you're able to join. Right, we are at 1 minute past 7 SA time, that is. Apia, thank you so much for coming. So I am going to get cracking because I know that your time is precious, and that is exactly why you are here today. So I am going to share my screen. And as you know, today we are here to learn how to work less and earn more. Because let's be honest, I mean, someone like Lauren, even if we love what we do, we don't have to do it for too long, and we want to make sure that it's profitable for us. So, a little bit about me. I'm proud to say that taking control of my freedom has allowed me to do some cool things over the years. I've managed to complete an Ironman. I was able to write my book, get interviewed by my favorite celebs like Gareth Cliff, and I've had my name published in almost every major publication in my home country, South Africa. And I've been able to do that by taking control of my time so that I have the time to spend on other things that I enjoy doing. And today, I'm going to show you how you can do the same. So, you can see, this was one of my invoices. The date is 2016. And when I first started freelancing, I said yes to pretty much everything that came across my desk, which resulted in me sending invoices that looked a little like this. That's $10 per article. It doesn't take an economist to see how invoices like this are not going to make any freelancer rich. But at the time, I thought things were going well. I mean, I had a lot of regular clients. I was making okay money. I had a steady pipeline of incoming leads. So what more could a freelancer want? Let me tell you, freedom. It's in the word freelancer. So I was working hard, like 10, 14 hours a day, eating my breakfast, lunch, dinner in front of my laptop, stress eating. And it hit me, this is not the reason I wanted to become a freelancer. I wanted to be able to spontaneously meet a friend for coffee or go to the gym midday, take an actual lunch break, write my book on the side, train for events I wanted to do, and to be honest, just enjoy my life. So I decided that I needed to make a change, which I did by focusing on just 3 things. The first one, taking control of my time, streamlining my tools, and increasing my takings, my income. Today, I'm going to show you how you can do the same. So over the past, 6 years since I started freelancing full time, these are the tactics I've used to earn 55% more than when I first started, and not by hustling. In fact, I now work 20% less. So my goal here today, we don't have a lot of time, so I want us to get the most out of this session, but I want to give you some of the simple strategies that have helped me work smart, not hard. So in our time today, I'm going to give you my promise. I'm going to do my absolute A-level best to get you where you want to be. And because you're already here on this webinar, I have faith that you will use these tools that I share with you, because not everyone is brave enough or proactive enough to take the steps that they need to create the life they want. So seriously, pat yourself on the back for being here, because that's a great start. So I'm going to give you my best, and in return, I'm going to ask for yours. So what does that mean? Please turn off your cell phone, or if you're not going to turn it off, just take a second right now to move it out of arm's reach. And let me tell you, this is also an amazing productivity hack I've discovered, a bit of a side note, but I read a study that if your cell phone is near you, even if it's off, even if all your notifications are off, just the fact that you are resisting the temptation to check your cell phone means that you're not focused on the task at hand. So please, right now, take your cell phone, throw it very gently across the room, because we want to remove any kind of distraction so we can get the best use of our time right now. And then the second thing I want to ask from you is, as we go through the session, I want you to imagine implementing what I show you, because remember, what you think becomes what you do. One more thing, I want this to be interactive. So please do pop your questions and comments as we go along. There will be some time for Q&A at the end, and I'm also going to check in frequently just to make sure that we've got any questions unanswered, and I'll give a pause for that. So with all of this, all the housekeeping said and done, you've heard a bit of my story. Again, we don't have a lot of time, and I want this to be about you. So if you're ready to move forward, just type a simple little yes or something more creative, preferably in the comment box, and then we're going to move on. So let me hear from you if you are keen and ready to make this happen. Tell me that you've moved your cell phone across the room, and let's go. So I want you to also think of what could be holding you back right now from achieving what you want to achieve as a freelancer. Good old time, right? So that is why we are here. Working on your business and on yourself takes time. Look, you might have to go through a phase of not binging on your favorite Netflix shows, but it'll pay off in the long run. And soon you'll be able to watch as much Netflix as you want. The irony is, when you don't have time, that's actually the best time to focus on getting more out of it. I went from 14-hour days to actually managing to be productive in about 6 hours, and my income didn't suffer. In fact, it decreased, which brings me to money. If you think your current financial position is preventing you from working on your business and moving forward, that's exactly why you need to be here. Because if you don't make a change, you can't expect different results. Belief. Maybe this is a problem you've tried to solve before, but you've never been successful. Why should it be different? And I'm going to tell you, it's because you're not going to have to go it alone. I'm here to support you. This community of freelancers is here to support you. And we're going to make these good things happen in your life. And what about your fear? Whether you realize it or not, fear is often what holds you back from achieving your potential. Look, I can help you with the time part, the money part, the belief part, but I'm going to need your help when it comes to fear. I know it's scary to step out of your comfort zone, but as we all know, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So, to counteract that fear, before we work on the how we're going to work less and earn more, let's dig into your why, because it's your why that actually gives you the energy for the how. So tell me, why do you want to work smart? And I would love to hear if you have some ideas to pop them in the comments. So when I started my journey towards working smart, I wanted more time to do things I love, but without sacrificing my income. And I wanted more freedom, which is the reason I became a freelancer in the first place. When I was working those long days, it hit me. This is not why I'm here. Why am I putting myself through all the hardships of being a freelancer and not reaping the rewards? So I want you to take a quick second to lock in your why. And when you've got yours, let me know in the chat. I love that, Jess. I want to take regular trips to London to visit my sister. I mean, isn't that such a great thing to keep in mind when times get tough and you feel like this is getting hard? That's such a wonderful carrot to have at the end of the stick. So maybe, like Jess, it's time for your family. Maybe it's to give you more time and money to give back to others, to do voluntary work or charity work. Maybe you have a really big goal you're working on. So for me, writing my book, I needed to be able to have the headspace and time to do that. So that was a big part of my why moving forward. Starting a family. Vase, that's amazing. Natalie wants to support her mom so she can retire. That's beautiful, Natalie. Letitia, more time for traveling, spending time with my elderly mom and my dog. Heck yes. And Jonathan wants to disconnect my time from my money so I can spend more time with family and travel. Avoiding burnout, being more flexible, having time on ourselves. These are all amazing reasons. And Tilly says, no employer's ever paid me enough for my writing. I want to get paid what I deserve. I love that. Finding a work-life balance, travel, have more time for fun. 100%. Why otherwise are we here? Let's be honest. We do spend, most of us, 5 days a week of our lives working. So why should every day suck? We want to wake up every morning actually doing things that we want to do and working towards goals that are important for us. So thank you so much for sharing. Looks like we've got some common themes and work-life balance, fun, family, which are all such important things to keep in mind as we go through our journey. So I want you to lock that in and keep it in mind as we go. So today we're going to discover how to optimize your time, tools, and takings, your income, in a way that works for you. After the session, we want to immediately work for 1 hour less per day while earning 10% more. And as a lot of us have mentioned in our why, we want to live a life of freelance freedom. So our goal, to make more money in less time. Why are we doing it? For all those reasons that you have just locked in. So as I've mentioned, these are the pillars I've used to work towards freelance freedom. It's my time, streamlining with tools, and increasing my takings. Look, I know income is probably a better word, but I love the alliteration of the triple T, so please just bear with me. And now under each of these headings, there's a number of tactics I've used. We won't have time to work on all of them today. So what I'm going to do is take you through a 3-step process that I'm confident will help you achieve our goal of working 1 hour less and earning 10% more straight away. First up, taking control of your time. So we're going to be talking about your ideal day. And remember, to get more time, you have to make more time. There's no magical wand that's going to wave and give us a 25, 26, 27-hour day. And the better you use your time, the more time you'll have. So this is all about being more intentional about your time. So I did give a bit of homework, and I hope you had a chance to complete it. If not, no worries. I am going to put the link in the comments. So you can grab your copy over there. The link should be in the comments for you. So what we were doing here is dreaming of what that ideal day of freelance freedom would look like to you. How will it help you work towards your why? So, for example, if you said you wanted to work smarter to be able to spend more time with your loved ones, where in your schedule are you making time for that? It's not going to magically happen. So I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What would you do with that extra hour in your day? Perhaps it's linked to your why. Perhaps it's working more on your own business. And if you haven't had a chance to grab and fill out your daily planner, please do click the link in the comments and give it some thought, even if not right now in the session, but just a bit later or afterwards or tomorrow. And the point of this is to also give us a vision. So we've got our why, and now we need the plan. So just as an idea, so my ideal day, Lindsay is hoping to get some extra time for exercise, which is amazing. Jonathan says working on the business so you can make more time later. And this is something he and I've actually chatted about on social media, is actually making time to work on your business instead of only focusing on client work. Moving, I love it. Creative projects, walks, bike rides. Can you picture what that 1 hour will look like for you? So ideally, as you look at yours, a power hour for me at 5:30 where you can really get stuck into working on your business and spend it as you please. Time for reading. Focused work is important during my most productive hours, which for me is in the morning, where I can sit down, turn off all distractions and make it happen. And then at 12 to take a bit of a lunch, do some LinkedIn, social media stuffs, making time for business admin, personal admin. When I have these things in my calendar, it means I'm not trying to squeeze them in a million other different places. Meeting friends, connections, reading, and importantly, white space to fill in whatever you fancy that day. And to be honest, the white space is quite important because sometimes you need it for emergencies that pop up or things out of your control. So, I mean, of course, every day is different. Life happens, things get in the way. But when you are intentional about how you use your time, you get so much more out of it. So this is all well and good. We've got our why. We've planned what an ideal day looks like to us. But how do we actually execute and make it a reality? So next up, I'm going to share as one of the most powerful techniques that's worked for me and one of my favorite tools, calendar blocking, which honestly has been a game changer. And I'd love to hear if this is something you've already implemented and you're having success with or having any challenges. Please let us know in the comments. If you're already calendar blocking, hats off to you. I do have a list of tips and tricks. So if there's anything that you think you could improve, please just give me a shout and I'm happy to send that to you anytime. So before I started using calendar blocking, I would only schedule in my meeting times on my calendar because I thought, well, you know, I need to know what's happening when, and there it is in my calendar. The problem is that I was just winging it without structure for the rest of the time. I would also end on taking up far too much work, thinking I'd have the time to do it when actually I didn't. So all that white space that was there before didn't mean that I was doing nothing. It just meant I was kind of doing what I thought I needed to do as and when I needed to do it, and making sure that I arrived on times to my meetings. So I see a couple of you in the comments are saying, it works, but it's challenging and you're terrible with it. So I have a little trick, and that is my turning point that's helped me to actually stick to my calendar and be more productive about it. So my turning point came for me when I started using Calendly. So another side note, if you are not using Calendly yet, please do yourself a favor and you get Calendly or something similar. So how it works is, instead of that whole, okay, we need to have a meeting. Let me email you some meeting times. That time doesn't work for me. Okay, does this time work for me? No, this time. We've all been there, and what a waste of freaking time. So Calendly allows people to book meetings directly with you whenever you have white space in your schedule and during times that you preset on Calendly. Awesome. So I discovered this tool, and my primary reason for using it was to avoid the back and forth of scheduling meeting times. Great. But then I took a look at my calendar and I thought, oh, geez, well, I don't want someone booking a meeting with me at whatever time when I'm actually going to be on a run or doing something else. So I realized, okay, I'm going to have to actually sit and plot out my day so that people aren't booking meetings with me at times that aren't convenient to me. And when I started doing this, and as I started blocking out my day, my regular tasks, my personal admin, ad hoc work, regular meetings, I realized why I felt so stressed and overwhelmed all the time. I actually didn't have enough time in the day to do what I'd committed to do. So no wonder I was feeling so overwhelmed. But I kind of had to see it in front of me in those little blue blocks before it actually hit home. So now I make sure that I have time for my personal tasks, meetings, regular work, ad hoc commitments. So I know how much time I actually have, and I'm more structured about the way I spend my day to make time for the things that matter. Basically, what I've done is implement my daily planner. So now my calendar looks more like this. And these are sort of weekly things that happen that I've scheduled in. And then you can see, I'll pop in where there's white space. I've set a day aside to work on my webinar and my course. And then I make sure that I put in, okay, if I think this task is going to take me 2 hours, I block 2 hours. And I know a lot of you had said that sticking to it is the issue. To be honest, you don't have to stick to it like clockwork. Just the fact that you've made the time for the activity is really powerful. And I've also started using my calendar as my sort of to-do list. So instead of having a list of things that I need to do, I put them in my calendar so I know I've made the time for them at the appropriate time when I need to do them. So I no longer have a to-do list at all, or even a list of client work that I'm working on. Everything goes in my calendar. And then it also helps me stick to it because if I can see, oh, geez, I haven't actually done this task that's due today, I better get on it. It stops me from procrastinating and makes me stick to what I've planned. So I want this to be interactive. So please pull up your favorite calendar or app, and I want you to take a look at your daily planner and the tasks that you've put on there, and to schedule at least one item. We're going to do it right now. And I'd really like you to focus on a task, maybe not one of the more mundane ones, but something that you don't typically make time for. So Jonathan, for you, for example, perhaps you'll want to schedule in that time to work on your business and make it a non-negotiable that's in your calendar. So, interesting. So Jonathan says that this is something he used to do, use it as a to-do list when he was in sales. It's really been such a game changer for me. And it's also amazing to have everything all in one place. So please go ahead, open your calendar app, check your daily planner. and see what on there is one of those items that often gets pushed to the wayside because you feel like other important things come up. And schedule it at a time that you feel is going to be most productive for you. So for me, for example, if it's anything that requires focus, the morning is best, whereas the afternoon, I'll dive into more admins, meetings, and that kind of thing. So I challenge you to take a second and do that now. And then after our time today, you're going to use your daily planner and schedule a whole week. And I want you to just try get into the habit of doing it. I mean, you don't have to sit down and do it in one go, but put those recurring tasks in, make time for the things that matter, and see how you go. And I actually find the more planned I am, the more likely I am to stick to it. And believe you me, I'm actually not a great A-type planner person. This has just become my go-to for how I manage my life, and making the time has allowed me to save time. Awesome. I'm seeing some great comments coming through. Mystical Sylvan says, just scheduled a book formatting session immediately after this webinar. Nice, good going. I use my Google Calendars tasks for my to-do list, but scheduling it in will force me to do it. Exactly. And look, I mean, we're not robots. Life happens, and sometimes your energy is just not working with what's in your calendar, and that's cool because you can just drag things around as you need to. So Greer says, any suggestions for managing last-minute clients? Yes, definitely. So having that white space, number one, but you don't want that white space to take up all, don't want clients to take up all of that white space time, because you need some of that time for you too. So it comes down to setting boundaries and managing expectations with your clients as to when you need revisions by. And this is, my calendars really help me with this too. When I can see, okay, this client's got back to me late. This means, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to move the timeline. I'm booked up for this day. I can fit you in on X day. Whereas before, I would have tried to sneak in these last minute things, frazzled, stressed, 14-hour days. You know the story. So my suggestion is to be strict with your clients about your calendar and capacity. Of course, you want to help them where you can, but you also need to look after yourself first. Okay, so we're going to move on because we've got half an hour left, and I need you to start making more money right away. So we've carved out some time. Now we're going to figure out how this ideal day we've planned, we're going to make it more profitable. Now, I'm no mathematician, but the equation is actually pretty simple. So if you use time management, like we're doing with the calendar, and tools to get more done in less time, you get a better average hourly rate. And just a disclaimer, before we go any further, anyone who knows me knows that I am not for charging by the hour. In fact, I'm anti-hourly. Why punish yourself for becoming more efficient? We won't get into that now because that'll get me on a whole nother rant. And I do cover it extensively on the course I'm working on. So when we talk about your effective or average hourly rate, it's actually just our way to measure that you're working smarter, i.e., are you working fewer hours and earning more money? So that's what I'm talking about when we talk about your average hourly rate. It's your time you've spent working divided by the income you've made, or the other way around. So when you use time management and tools to get more done in less time, you get a better average hourly rate. When you get paid more on top of that, you get an even better average hourly rate. So that's the simple equation. Hope this makes sense. Please let me know if anything is unclear. So as I've said, we're not talking charging hourly. We're just using this as a benchmark. So did you manage to do your homework and work out your current hourly rate? If not to worry. I'm going to pop the link in the comments for you, and that'll open up the calculator that you can go into. So in this calculator, we're looking at your average monthly income divided by the time that you've spent working. So if you haven't had a chance, please quickly do that. How much are you working? Please tell me you are using time tracking. I haven't gone into it in this session too deeply because I really hope most of you are doing it already. If you don't, Toggle is an amazing tool, Clockify, and best of all, you can pretty much get away with all the free features of those time tracking tools. So that's along with Calendly. That is another great tool to please add to your arsenal if you're not using it already. Right, so once you've worked out that average hourly rate, I'm wondering if the amount you're working now, you're hoping to work a little bit less than that, right? So maybe you looked at how many hours you worked on an average month. We want to bring that down so that you have more time for your why and the things that you actually love doing. So if you look at your daily planner, you can see how many hours of actual billable work you want to do each day. So in my example, there was 4 hours of focused client work. Oh, sorry, I seem to have had a PowerPoint disaster. Just give me a second, please. Okay. Sorry about that. So as I was saying, if you refer back to your daily planner, you can probably see how you're working more hours than you would actually like to. So that is something that we are going to change right now. Click through. Sorry, please bear with me till I get to the right slide. And let me share it. Okay, we're back. Quick recap. Right, so we've gone through that equation. We've worked out our hourly rate. Oh, do you know why? Sorry, I'm clicking on the link to the calendar there, to the calculator there. I think that's why it went a bit cray. Okay, so now you have a better grip on your time. We're going to make sure that you have enough income to support the fewer hours that you actually want to work. So the next link that we're going to click on is to my freelance rates calculator. So the first calculator is what you are earning now. And the second, if you click the link that I've just posted in the comments, this is a link to a freelance rates calculator that's going to help you come up with how much you need to be earning on average per hour to support the hours you want to work, the holidays you want to take, days off, and how much income you want to earn to support your freelance freedom. So please do click on that now and go through the exercise of working out what your actual freelance freedom number looks like. And I'm really curious to hear in the comments if what you are making now is close to what that freedom figure looks like for you, or if you have a bit of work to do in that regard. So this freelance freedom rates calculator has been a really powerful tool for a lot of freelancers to realize either A, they're on track for the kind of freedom that they're looking for and the kind of lifestyle that they want, or that they're going to need to make some changes to get there. And the way we make those changes is by working smarter, working more efficiently, and by charging more. So I'm going to give you a second, and please let me know in the comments if you're close or if you have a bit of a ways to go. Jenny's got some more homework here, and fair enough. That is 100% fine, and that is why we are here. It's just also a really important exercise so you can see why you're not living that life of freelance freedom that you think you should be. Because if you're not making enough money to work the hours that you want to work, how are you going to actually enjoy your freelance life? Sophie's definitely behind, and it's fine. It's good. The knowledge is the power, and now we're going to work on it. So, as I've mentioned, the first way is being more efficient with your time so that you're not spending hours and hours chained to your desk, using tools, getting more productive, using your focus. And then the next is making sure that you are getting paid what you deserve. Nice. Sophie's got a goal now. Our JJ's suggested an app called Desk Time to track application usage duration. So if you prefer that to a time tracker like Toggle, that could be helpful for you. Okay, so I'm going to move on now that you've had a chance to see where you're at and where you need to be. And as I've mentioned, there are a number of ways to make more money. So a lot of these I'm actually going to cover in my new course, my Work Less, Earn More course. But today I want you to be able to earn 10% more right away. So we're going to focus on the quickest and easiest way to get you closer to what that freedom number looks like. So the number one way to make more money and fast, and I've put it in red, is to raise your rates. Yes, I am saying it in red. If you don't raise your rates, the truth is that you are just getting poorer. Things get more expensive. You're not making more money. Now, I want you to be honest. Type yes in the comments if any of the below apply to you. Are you charging the same as you were when you first started freelancing? Are you charging less than your competition? Are you hearing yes to your proposals too often? Now, I know many of us are scared of rejection, but if you're hearing yes to every single quote you send out, not everyone should be able to afford you. Do you find that you're working at full capacity all the time? Are you struggling with your work-life balance? Are you feeling unmotivated or over it? And did you last raise your rates, or did you last raise your rates over a year ago? Feel free to own up if any of those apply to you. The reason I'm asking you to own up is because it gives accountability, and accountability leads to change. So if any of those situations apply to you, it's time to reconsider your rates. How? All you've got to do is ask. So just ask Tilly. And Tilly is here on the webinar today, and she used my rates calculator to put her rates up in the new year. And guess what? One of her clients agreed. It's all you can do to ask. And now I am happy to report that my fellow freelancing friend Tilly, it worked. And she took herself out to celebrate. She gave me a special thank you note. And on that note, big ups to Tilly for celebrating her success. This is something that not enough of us do as a freelancer. So when you achieve those milestones, go ahead. So go ahead, put a napkin on that Prosecco like Tilly did if you've managed to raise your rates and clients said yes. And then there's Taylor. So she had a client who didn't get a rates increase from her for 3 years because Taylor felt bad for her. My course reminded her to ask, and you won't believe it, she ended up getting a 50% increase, not just a 10% increase. So the truth here is, if you're a valuable service provider, your clients will be happy to pay you more, and you never know until you ask. And let's be honest, all of them are raising their rates. So It's just how the world works. If you're not doing it, you're getting poorer. So I really urge you to raise your rates this year. I've seen a question come through from Katerina about the rates calculator, and I'll circle back to that at the end because I don't want to lose momentum now. So, you never know until you ask. My challenge, I want you to raise your rates for one client today. Now, look, there are good times to raise your rates, not so good times to raise your rates. If you are not in your client's good books, it might not be a good time. If you have just completed an amazing project, it's a good time. Beginning of the year, always a good time. So I really challenge you to think about which client you can increase your rates. And it doesn't have to be 10% is an easy one because that's sort of a standard year on year. Things go up 10%. That's just how it happens. But there are other ways of doing it too, which I get more into in my course about how you can change your pricing models so that you're earning more. The client also benefits. So that's my challenge to you to write on your list for today is to raise your rates for a client. Just checking in on the comments. So JJ says, my rate is spot on with the calculator. However, I know that my rate is lower than the actual market rate for the type of work I do. So if that's the case, you have a great opportunity to realize more freelance freedom by charging what you're worth. And then you can do less work and earn more money. It's a win-win. So maybe you need to relook at your whole pricing structure. And again, this is something I urge you to spend some time on. In fact, put it in your calendar and make it a priority to go through your client list and see where you need to be making more money. And you could well be leaving plenty of money on the table, like Taylor was doing. So I've given you just a little, if it helps, an email template, very simple to give you an idea of what to say. Something to remember, it's not about asking for a rates increase. You are informing of a rates increase. If you would like me to email this to you, please just pop me an email. I'll be more than happy to send it to you so that you don't have to write it down. Basically, the idea is to give the client some idea of what you've been working on, how that's been going for you, remind them of results you've achieved, and then just let them know that you are going to be increasing their rates. You value them as a partner. If they have any questions, they can let you know. So if you need some more help, here's my email address over there, and I'm happy to send you that rates increase template that you're going to work on today or tomorrow. Okay, so we've covered 3 simple steps. We've just had a short time today, just scratching the surface of how we can start working more optimally and smarter. So we've envisioned what freelance freedom means to you through your why, through your daily calendar. We've done some calendar blocking to prioritize that time in your calendar. And we're making sure that you're earning enough to support your ideal lifestyle and that freelance freedom figure you came up with on the calculator. Look, there's so much more we can get in to help you work smarter, work less, and earn more. But for now, I want you to imagine how it would feel if you had all of these elements under control and you were doing all the things that you just told me about in the comments. So spending time with family, having more fun, going on adventures, traveling, helping out loved ones, all of those things. I want you to take a second and just imagine what that would feel like to have that in your life. And I want you to know that as a freelancer, it's possible. And I know that these things are worth working on because I've been there. I've been stuck on the grind, on the treadmill, working weekends, letting my health suffer until over time I figured out these strategies that would buy me more freedom. How? Getting more money for fewer hours of work. Now, it's taken me a good 6+ years, but if you follow these steps, you can soon be working 1 hour less and getting 10% more. And even more as you get better and better and keep working at it. So we've managed to achieve this in the limited time we have today. So can you picture working less and earning more? What would that look like for you? And are you ready to start implementing these steps? I hope you've already put some things in your calendar. So, knowing what you know now, can you see yourself? Let me know in the comments. Can you see yourself using what I showed you to help you build the life of your dreams? Do you think these tactics will work for you? Are you already using them? Even if you use just a fraction of what I just showed you, would you say that our time together was well spent and we've achieved something? And then would you like to spend even more time together, getting deeper into finding your freelance freedom? I have seen some questions, more questions come through in the comments, and we'll get to them at the end when we have some time. For now, I want you to picture how these steps can help you. Because here's what I know about you guys. Even if we had 4 hours today instead of this measly 1 hour, it's going to be hard to create lasting change and for me to give you the extent of what I have to offer. So while what I've given you now is incredibly value, as you've told me, it's just the tip of the iceberg. So if you like what I've shared so far, you're going to love what I've got next. So before going on this webinar today, I found myself with two choices. Option one, I could dump all of this information on you. We part ways. I hope to hell you make a go for it and become successful. Or I could take a more active role and responsibility in your success and create a situation that will allow me to do everything I can to help you succeed and to be in your corner. And I chose option 2 today. So I'd like to introduce you, before we end today's session, to my new course, Work Less, Earn More, the 3 pillars of freelance freedom. And in this course, we're going to be learning the specific strategies, building on what we've done today, to make you more money in less time as a freelancer. And to realize that freedom that we never thought was possible, all those things that we were imagining before. So the course uses the 3 pillars to help you get off the grind and start living like the business owner you want to be. I'm the one who's made the mistakes. I've gone back to the drawing board and I've come up with a simple method so that you don't have to. So here's what's included. We've got 4 training modules where you're going to learn step by step the 3 pillars to make more money as a freelancer. There's bite-sized lessons. Each one consists of a video that's about 5 minutes, some text to recap, an actionable download activity. Again, your time is short, and I want to make sure that we're making the most of it. Then I've got plenty of downloads, workbooks with prompts, guidance, tips to help you as you progress and to keep you on track. You also get lifetime access because this is a lifetime project, to be honest. I haven't arrived there. I'm still working on it every single day. So this is something I want you to be able to tap into whenever you need. And I want you to get the most of it. If it's not for you, it's not a vibe, that's fine. You get all your money back. Also included $300 worth of bonus content, lessons, resources to keep you going. So let's have a look. What are some of those bonuses? So a 30-minute one-on-one call with me where you can unpack anything that you're struggling with and I can walk you through step by step. We can chat about anything that you want and we'll make sure that you get the most out of that time. You get a free lesson from a social media manager, best in the biz, on a busy freelancer's guide to social media content planning. You get a free lesson from a registered dietitian on how to fuel your body for your focus, which is something that a lot of us tend to forget about. I'll also give you my list of freelancer safety nets that will help you run a successful, sustainable business to make sure you've got all your ducks in a row and you're equipped to thrive. And then there's my Facebook community group where we're going to be sharing successes, tips, and importantly, keeping one another accountable. So in a nutshell, I'm going to walk you through step by step everything that I did to work 20% less and earn 50% more and live a freelance life that I actually enjoy. So look, I could coach you one-on-one on all this good stuff, but to be honest, that's not how I choose to spend my time. I don't have enough time to help as many as you as I'd like to. And also, all this one-on-one time and all the resources could clock up to, I worked out a ridiculous price tag of like $10,000. Not an option. The other option, you can do the work yourself, the research, trial and error. I do have some freebies on my website that might help you. But I don't want you to have to suffer through 6 years plus to get there. I want you to get more time and money, and I want you to get it fast. So, as Taylor said, who's been through the course, there is no need to do it the hard way over 7 years while losing income and sanity in the process. So she's found it really helpful to have the hacks, tips, and advice all in condensed content that she's been able to implement. Okay, so even though we've said it could cost you a ridiculous $10,000 for all of this, I don't want price to be a barrier for you. So I'm offering full access to everything that'll help you work less and earn more for just $297 when you go to www.shaycasting.com/workless-earn-more. And tell you what, let me pop that link in the comments for you so that you can check it out. And South Africans, you can message me for local rates. And because you've made the effort and commitment to be right here, right now, live in the webinar, I'm going to give you a little early bird discount for 1 week only, a cool $50 off, so $247. And because you guys have been so awesome and been interacting so much, I'm going to give the first 5 people who sign up an extra $100 off because I think you deserve it for being so proactive. Okay, so you've got permission now to get a little bit distracted. You can open up your browser, click on the link to the course if you want to be one of the first 5 to sign up and get the most of that deal. Otherwise, the early bird discount is open for a week. And South Africans, you're welcome to email me for your local price. So if you're on the page, you see those little sign me up buttons, and go ahead, click on those, and you can check out easily online using PayPal. Now, when you sign up, know this. Whether it is 29 minutes from now or 29 days from now, if you ain't happy, I ain't happy. So if for whatever reason you want your money back, just let me know. Email me and you've got it. And I know I can make this guarantee because I'm confident that you have the real deal. And I'm confident that when you sign up on that link, you're getting exactly what you need to start working smarter. In fact, I'm confident that in just 30 days, if you apply all the steps, you can earn the same or more while working at least 1 hour less. I call it my freedom guarantee. So I actually did some more maths, bear with me, and I found out that you can easily pay for the course in a month and go on to get a return on investment for the rest of your career. So, I mean, let's say you were working 8 hours, too much. I want you to be working less than that at $20 per hour, some conservative figures. If you work more efficiently, your average rate, hourly rate, already goes up to $22. Now imagine you also are earning 10% more. Your new rate goes up to $25. So even with these conservative numbers, you're making $75 more a week, an extra $300 a month, which is the cost of the course, tick, done. And look how those add up. I mean, even if you never become more efficient or ever raise your rates again, you're looking at $3,600 for a year or over $100,000 for a 30-year career. So that's over to you now. And I would love to hear from you in the comments if you have questions about what we've covered today. And I'd also like to know if there's anything holding you back with regards to signing up from the course. I'm on the fence because you can let me know, and perhaps we can engage around that. So let me go back to some of the comments that came through earlier. All right, so I think this was on the calculator that Katerina said, can you explain gross income per month? So gross income means the total that you get without minusing your expenses. So for example, I pay for my laptop insurance. I haven't deducted that from my income number when I'm looking at my gross income or any other business expenses. So income is literally how much money is going into your bank account that month. Mystical Sylvan says, what if we have no clients? Well, if you are new to freelancing, the good news is that I do have on my freebies page, I've got a list of my best way to find clients, which is networking. So you are welcome to click on that, and that'll give you some ideas of how to find clients. Hannah, that networking checklist may also help you to find new clients. So I highly recommend that you go to my freebies page on my website and grab the No BS networking checklist. Thanks, Anne. Thank you for coming. I'm so glad. Anne says it was great and it was really wonderful to have you. I am still taking questions, or if you have any hesitations about signing up for the course, if you want to know more, you can visit the landing page. If you want to be one of the first 5 to sign up, I suggest you do so ASAP, because we've already got quite a lot of people on this webinar, and I'm so glad you were able to come. And we've got a lot of people catching the replay straight afterwards. Thank you, Tilly. It was so great. And thank you for letting me share your story. I'm so chuffed for you. And yeah, I wish I could join you for some Prosecco ASAP. Let me know if you're ever coming to South Africa. And if you need any of these resources, or if you would like a copy of this slide, please send me an email. I will pop my email address in the comments. If you want the rates template or anything like that, all yours. I am totally open to sharing any of my knowledge with you, because I really believe in the power of the freelance economy, and I want us all to succeed. Thanks, Jess. Thank you so much for coming and participating. It was really great. Tilly, SA has been on my number 1 on my travel list. Well, you know, now that you've got these freelance freedoms coming your way, hopefully you can make some time to head our way. Would really love that. Thank you, Greer, for attending. Thank you, Lindsay. And I'm so glad that you were able to use my tools. They are there for all of you. I really believe in what we are all doing, and I believe in you. And also, I'm really proud of you for making the time to be here today and being a proactive freelancer. It's up to us to keep the profession going. Thanks, Lauren. I will be following up with you on that calendar. Thank you, Nikki. Yeah, we don't deserve to feel stuck. Let's really get out there. Thanks, Hannah. I hope you're all feeling motivated. Feel free to follow me on LinkedIn and enjoy the rest of your afternoon or your evening. If you have any questions or want to reach out, you can find me on LinkedIn, on email. You should still be getting some emails from me with a replay, etc. Thanks, Sophie. Proudly South African over here. Thank you, Monica. CVS is asking, how do you figure out what goods or service you could provide? Well, it all comes down to your specific skills, areas of interest. I would suggest finding something that you can monetize, something that you enjoy, something that you're good at, and something that there's a market for. Happy to discuss with you further after this. Thank you, JJ. Thank you, Alex. Jonathan, was great to have you here. And Teresa. Teresa's almost finished my book. Awesome. So much good information in there. Very cool. That's why it's there, to help fellow freelancers. Thanks, Vies. Wishing you all the best, everyone, for a cracker 2024 of working smart, not hard. Let's lose this hustle. This is really, it's not what freelancing is about. So if there's anything I can help you with, please do let me know. Apparently there's a mistake in my email address. Sorry, this is what happens when you multitask, folks. This is why one of my big tips that I advocate for is focusing, not multitasking. It's shay@shaycasting.com. Is there a dot there? I do have my other email address over there, but you can find it on my website if it's missing. No dot. Sorry. You'd think I'd be able to type my own email address. There it is. Thank you for the heads up. Yeah, I look forward to hearing from you. And I think I'm going to end the session now if there are no further questions. Once again, thank you. You rock. Have a wonderful 2024. And I hope to be in touch and be able to help you some more soon. Okay, bye.